Good evening, guys. Well, ladies. Good evening, ladies. Make sure I didn't forget my drink tonight. Hope everyone had a good day, is having a good evening. Or if you see this in the morning time, if you watch it on the replay, you have a good morning, have a good day, okay? So tonight is gonna be part 2 to the sacral chakra. Okay, so we are doing healing the divine feminine, aka Miss Empress, the 7 attributes of a divine feminine. Okay, as it relates to the 7 chakras. So we are going to be learning the tools to heal ourselves, and we are learning about the chakras. Okay, 2 for 1. So first, I would like to welcome you to the Empress Room where the real healing happens. Thank you for joining me. I am Patricia, aka the Intuitive Empress. Like I said, thank you for joining me. Okay, and we are going to get into it tonight. This is, like I said, it's going to be part 2 to the sacral chakra, okay, which is the second chakra, okay. So and it was just so much information that I didn't know, and even what I condensed it to. Okay, I had more than that. What I condensed it to was still a lot, and so I just want to make sure that I give you ladies good information, solid information, but I don't overload you with it. Like get to the main points, explain the main points in as short a time span as possible. Okay, and so yesterday we went over, or in the last video, depending on how or when you see this, in part 1 of the sacral chakra, we talked about um, Miss Queen of Wands, okay, in the upright and in the reverse, because as the Empress, the sacral chakra relates to Queen of Wands energy. So we need to make sure we are balancing out the Queen of Wands energy in us, and that comes from our sacral chakra. Okay, so now that we have learned that, we are going to go over just the basic of the sacral chakra, and then we are going to get into our blockages and intimacy and negative body image. Okay. So, but before we get started with that, so I got the cards already out, ready to go. Okay, so this is Miss Empress, and Miss Empress is a creative. Okay, this is Miss Queen of Wands, right? We learned about her yesterday. She is beautiful inside and out. She is giving, she is caring, she is loving. Okay, she is intuitive, she is passionate. Okay, all of the things that make up what the sacral chakra is, and what we are about as empresses, the spiritual side of us. Okay, it's who the Queen of Wands is. Okay, and so this is what we're working on, ladies. Getting all of these energies out of our womb. Okay, this is all of the blockages. Okay, this is all of the voices, the spirits that we have not only got from this lifetime, that we have collected from other lifetimes as well. Okay, that have came on back down here this time with us. The generational curses that we act out, okay, that we have picked up from generation to generation, and that we still have not healed from. Okay, and right now, today, in this lifetime, God is saying it's time for healing. Complete soul healing. That is what I am about. Healing the soul of the divine feminine. Okay, and so if our womb space is blocked up like this energetically, this is the energy we are trying to manifest our dreams out of. This is the energy that we are trying to create our reality out of, which is why our reality looks the way that it does. Okay, for those of us that have not healed, for those of us who are not unblocked, unbothered, and balanced. Okay, this is all that we are dealing with, and this is all. Let this be the sacral chakra for you. This is what your sacral chakra is looking like right now. Okay, and so we want to go. So by teaching these things and really helping you understand what it means to be balanced, right? Removing all the blockages, right? We are going through the transformation process, and that is also how, like I say over here, we sit. Oh shit! Don't catch me on fire. I went to grab my incense right. I'm sure you can see it. My incense right here. I went to grab my damn lotus flower and burnt. Yeah, burnt by the damn incense. Okay, so the lotus flower, right? It is what, even in the transfer, going through a transformation, right? We are still perched on our throne, right? Working on us a daily, dealing with life a daily, like figuring it out daily, getting rid of any hindrances that may come up after the initial healing, right? So the lotus flower goes through death, transformation, and rebirth. Okay, because the death is understanding that I don't have all the answers. It is letting the death process. It is crucifying the flesh, right? What Jesus did in the physical, okay, it is what we need to do energetically. Crucify the flesh, okay, like get our life under control. Take back our power from the people we have given into. Okay, we have to have an ego death. Okay, we have to let pride go. Okay, we got to get out of self and really get in tune with God. Get out of our lower self, right? And do the work to come in tune with our higher self, to be one with our higher self, so our higher self can take its rightful seat in us, right? And I was about to say on the throne, which, okay, because we're gonna say that our solar plexus, because I say that our solar plexus is where our higher self sits, because the solar plexus is the seat of the soul. The soul is us. Okay, the soul is where we, where everything that makes us who we are come from. Okay, and then our environment adds to that, right? And so our solar plexus is the seat of the soul, right? And so we should daily. Let me back up. So our solar plexus is the seat of the soul, okay? And so our higher self. So we're going to say that our solar plexus, the throne, is the lotus flower that our higher self comes and perches on. Okay, after we do the work in our solar plexus to get all of this up out of it so that we can operate out of our solar plexus. Okay, and so our higher self comes and plops down on this throne. Okay, and then you have the heart and the solar plexus. I mean, the sacral chakra. Your higher self, your soul, sits right in between them, right? And so that is the energies feeding the solar plexus. Okay, where you operate out of your power from. You step into your power in the sacral chakra, and then you operate out of your power in the solar plexus, being guided by your higher self. But you cannot do that until you clear all of the blockages out of the sacral chakra. Okay, and clean up your life so that you are operating out of Empress energy. This is a daily process to go through a full transformation. Okay, to be healed, healthy, balanced, and whole. Right? To get back to our source, the source of us. That is who we are. Okay, we are trying to figure that out in the solar in our sacral chakra, but we cannot do that. We can try to figure out who we are in our sacral chakra, but we got to get rid of all of these first so that we can. Okay, so that we can recognize and understand that we are empresses. Okay, and we don't have to treat ourselves and devalue ourselves for the pleasure of somebody else to be loved. Okay, because we love on us. We love who we are unconditionally and wholeheartedly. Why? Because God loves us. And we are one with our Creator. So you cannot love God if you don't love yourself first. Okay, get back to source. Okay, so then while I was getting the cards out, because I already know in my head which ones I wanted, but then I just started shuffling. I don't know why. I don't know. I just started shuffling for no reason, but because I just did. And then 4 cards came out. Okay. Okay. Integration came out. Compromise came out. Inner voice came out. And the Fool came out. Okay, because now you have been integrated into your higher self. Now your higher self, you have stepped into your Empress energy, right? You are now understanding who you are. You understand your power, right? So that when you get to your solar plexus, your higher self can come and take a plop in your soul on her throne, the lotus flower. And then you operate out of that. Your higher when your higher self takes her place, right, on her throne in you, right, which is your constant contact and communication to the divine, right, you become integrated, right? Water and fire. Okay, that is what the sacral chakra is. The sacral chakra is run, yes, off of emotions, right? So it is of the water element. It is of feminine energy, right? But then the Queen of Wands is of the fire element. And that goes to show that there is masculine and feminine energy in everything. So how could that be for everything but our God? Okay, and so we are balanced now. We have learned how to operate out of both energies in a balanced state, right? We know when we need to be more of our masculine energy, right? And we know when we need to let our masculine energy take a step back, and then we be more of our feminine energy. Okay, but it is still balanced. We are still being logical. Okay, and so we are not compromising who we are for nothing or nobody. We are not pinky promising to give nobody hell, and we are not allowing anybody to pinky promise to give us hell until death do us part. We're not doing that no more because we know our worth. Because this is the shit we was pinky promising. This right here. Okay, and we did just that because we are still carrying this energy around in us, which is why we cannot bring forth the life that we want to live. We cannot be connected to our source, the source of who we are, us, right? Because we got all of this operating up out of us, right? And so God is saying it's time for us to go through our transformation. It's time for us to be healed, healthy, happy, and whole. Be abundant, right? Have prosperity. Get some self-love, right? It is time, because then when you do that, now that you are no longer compromising, now you can hear your inner voice. Why is that? Because your inner voice has took its rightful place on its throne in your solar plexus, and it is speaking to your heart, right? Which in turn helps you speak your truth. Okay, and it opens up your gifts, and you are whole. Right, we're not doing this no more. When energies like this try to come in our life, we done removed all of the blockages and the baggage that we have been carrying, and so now, because we are connected to our inner voice, we're connected. The Empress is connected to her source. Period. You cannot be no empress, not no divine empress, in no kind of way if you are not connected to your higher power, the divine, whatever you call that. Okay, that is a must, because who is guiding you? Like where your morals coming from, where your values coming from? Like if you don't have a higher source, then what are you operating out of? Okay, because then when you get to the crown, you can really start your journey, the right journey, right? Having full trust and faith, right? Having an intimate relationship with yourself and with the divine. Okay, going forth, walking in purpose, on a mission, with a mission. Like, right? Like, look. He don't give a damn. Like, look, we gonna say she. Okay, she don't give a damn about going forward. Okay, yeah, I know. As a matter of fact, I don't know that it's a cliff, and if I take one more step, I'm gonna fall off. I don't know that, right? Because I'm so focused on what I'm doing that even though this cliff is right here and I'm still going, I trust and believe that my God is gonna make a way that I don't fall. I'm not gonna fall. Okay, I'm not gonna even know that ain't nothing right there until I get to the other side and I look back. But that's the thing, we're not looking back. We're not looking back no more. We're not going backwards. We're not looking back for nothing or nobody, right? When God get us across to the other side, when we make it to the finish line, and we are now walking in purpose, on purpose, with a purpose, we are not looking back. Okay, we are going forward and living the best life, being our authentic self, period. That is what it is about. Okay, walking in purpose, having a purpose. Like what meaning is what meaning does your life have? Like are you satisfied? Are you content with the life that you are living on today? And if that answer is no in any way, shape, or form, then you need to figure out why that is, and you need to change them things in your life. Period. There is no other way. We cannot expect for God to change the things that we don't like, but we are not changing. Right? We are staying in the same situation. We are not, moving things and people and places out of our life. We are staying stuck. So how can we expect God to change or to bring about change when we are ourselves, us, are keeping ourselves stuck in the very situation you want God to bring you out of? It don't work like that. Yes, God is a miracle worker, but we have free will. And if God is telling you that it's time for you to remove yourself from this situation, but you don't want to do that, you want to stay stuck in it, then at that point it becomes your fault, because God is telling you, you are not getting anything, you are not getting nothing, I am not blessing you, I am not releasing anything to you until you move yourself out of the situation, like I told you to do a couple years ago. Okay, and so at some point we have to take responsibility for the way that our life is and the things that happen to us. We have to take responsibility for them first, especially if we are not being obedient to what God is telling us to do. Okay, and He be the first one we want to blame. We don't want to put that on us. We got to bear the weight of that guilt. Okay, we got to do that. So we're not compromising who we are for nothing or nobody. I'm not compromising my destiny. I'm not compromising my purpose, my mission, my happiness, my self-love, my self-respect, my self-worth. I'm not compromising my body. I'm not pimping my body out for love. I'm not pimping my womanhood out for love. I'm not giving up my body if I don't want to, because I understand my womb is a sacred place. And ain't anybody or anything welcomed in that place. Okay, it is a privilege to experience what I am like on the inside. That is a privilege. And the fact that we don't respect our body the way that we should is the reason we got all these energies and blockages all up and through us. And this is the energy that we want God to bless. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Okay. And my bad if y'all hear that obnoxious laugh. That is my neighbor. Okay. Okay, and so I wasn't gonna do all of that. I just started getting messages when I picked the cars up. I just wanted to have a visual for what we're about to learn on tonight, okay? So I pray that whoever that message was for, it resonates with you and it touches you in a way and it brings about change and healing in your life. And if that resonated with you, my love, then this lesson on tonight will definitely resonate with you and help you figure some things out. Okay, I pray that whoever hears this message, I pray that it penetrates your mind and your heart and it brings about change in your life. I come in love. I speak out of love, okay? Because my God tells me to. God is unconditional love. And if I am going after his people, if I am to help his people, I have to operate out of unconditional love too. This is a safe place, a place of no judgment. Okay, you are free to be your authentic self in the Empress room. Okay. So, healing the divine feminine, 7 attributes of the divine feminine. And tonight we are talking about the second one. The second attribute of the divine feminine. Okay, which is we're talking about the sacral chakra on tonight, which is part 2 of it. Okay, so the second attribute of the divine feminine is passionate creativity, represented. Okay, so yeah, the second attribute of the divine feminine is passionate creativity. Okay, my pen started going out as I was writing that, so I didn't know what it was saying. Okay, so, and this is the passionate creativity, the sacral chakra, like I said, is represented by the Queen of Wands. We went over that in part 1 of the sacral chakra, okay? And so, she has an intimate relationship with self and with her God, which allows passionate creativity to flow freely through her womb. She births life, okay? So, what is the sacral chakra? What is that? Okay, well, why? Well, when I hear that, what does that mean? How should that resonate with me? What do that got to do with me? Okay, and so it is very important for us as women. Okay, very important. Like I said, I'm gonna start calling it the Empress chakra for the Empress room. Okay. So the sacral, I'm gonna tell you why it's important. The center of the sacral chakra is the center of pleasure and passion, both sensually and creatively, which equals our feelings and our sensations. Okay, so the sacral chakra, and I know I'm going to say it down here, but I'm just going to tell you right now. The sacral chakra is the center of our emotions. Okay, and so if you got all of this going on in your womb, right, the place that is the center of your emotions, this is where schizophrenia comes from. Okay, this is where being bipolar comes from. Okay, this is where all them 15,000 personalities you got going on, and I'm not trying to diagnose nobody, and I'm not making fun of mental health. I'm just saying. Okay. This is where all of that comes from. Because these are all of the energies you got up in you that you are operating out of, and you don't know who you gonna be on a day-to-day basis. And then on top of that, you are attracting these energies to you. right? So not only are you dealing with your 15 personalities, you are also dealing with whoever you have connected with, their 15 personalities. So that's 32 people, because the both of y'all, okay? 32 people. Okay, and so it is a feminine energy, and it is of the water element, right? And it is also controlled by the moon, right? The moon controls the water, right? It governs, I'll say it governs water, the seas, the lakes, the oceans, all of that. And our moon governs our emotions. And that's why, you know, a lot of the times they say to do like, when you are ready to release something, you do that type of work on, I think it's the full moon, new moon. Okay, but it's like every cycle, every different cycle of the moon, there are different, you know, rituals that you could do to, you know, like release energy, let go of things. I mean, you could do it anytime, any day of the week, but as like a sacred type of thing, like, you know, like if you want to, if it's something personal that you are really just ready to let go, you could make it like a sacred, you know, space for you and your Lord. Okay, and you have a sacred moment with you and God, and you just really let it go. Okay, you are honest and you are authentic. Yes, you can do it any day of the week, but you have the energies of the moon, the divine mother, helping to guide you through it. Okay, so the color is orange, and the color for the sacral chakra is orange, and the mantra is I feel, y'all. I did not have another orange shirt, and so my thing is orange. Okay, this, it don't look like it, but this down here is orange, and I was trying to get the lights to be orange, but they just doing whatever they want to do. Okay. Okay. So yeah, like I said, it is ruled by the moon, and it governs our sense of taste. Okay, and so I don't think I've ever experienced this, but you know, you can, certain different tastes can trigger you, or it can trigger a memory, or like a food, like it, you know, you can eat something and it'll, you know, take you back to a memory. Like, oh, I remember when, you know, I was sitting in Big Mama kitchen, and I was eating some greens, and she was telling me, it like, it reminds you of like a special intimate moment that you could have had with somebody you love. um you know how they be like, you know, I could, the taste, I don't even want the taste of you in my mouth. And I don't, I guess it would work because our taste is our mouth, and that is like our tongue and stuff, where our taste buds is at. And so I don't know if that will like affect the way we taste things. I don't know. I might look that up when I get off of here, just so I can have some more knowledge about how taste, how the sacral chakra, like really, does it really, like if my womb is off of balance, does it affect the way that I taste things? I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. I didn't think to do that. Okay, that is how my mouth works. Okay, I ask questions. I want to know things, which is how I increase my knowledge. Okay, knowledge is power. Don't let them lie to you. Okay, so the sacral chakra is the second step in the healing process. It is where we take the foundation we created in the root chakra, because remember, in the root chakra we built us a stable foundation that was rooted in our source. Okay, and now the sacral chakra, sacral chakra is the first step of building us up. Okay, we had to lay the foundation first. We had to have a solid, grounded foundation rooted in our source. Okay. It is where we take the foundation we created in the root chakra and begin to build on it in our and we begin to build on it in our sacral chakra. It is where we step into our Empress energy, baby, and really understand the power that we have. Okay, we find that in our sacral chakra. Okay. As we learn about the sacral chakra, we will take an honest look at self to see what blockages are preventing us from embodying the Empress energy in us. Okay? We will learn about intimacy, passion, and creativity, and we will see how our fears cause blockages that stop us from being balanced, unblocked, and unbothered. Okay? Everything in our life is motivated by the energy in us and around us. Hold on now. Give me 1 second because my phone is on the charger, but it just said I'm down to 15%, but it's on the charger. So let me figure out why that is. So I don't want my phone going dead. Give me 1 second, guys. Well, ladies, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sure my 3-year-old has something to do with that. Oh, okay. So everything in our life is motivated by the energy in us, okay, and around us. In us and around us. Okay. Understanding this shows us that we really do possess the power to control the reality of our life. We really do, y'all, control the power to control the reality of our life. We really do. We was born with it. Okay, it's about learning to tap into it. Okay, it's about allowing your higher self to come and take its rightful place in your solar plexus and understand some things. Okay, so the center. Oh, okay. Possess the reality of our life. Okay. It is the center of our emotions, feelings, and stimulates pleasure. It plays an active role in our sexuality and expression of our sexual needs and desires. The sacral chakra governs the reproductive system and and processes sexuality, relationships, emotions, and sense of pleasure and adventure. Okay, we experience pleasure through our five senses: touch, taste, see, feel, and hear. Is the way we process life. The sense of taste is associated with the sacral chakra, and throughout this, guys, you are going to hear a lot of information repeated because let it sink in. Okay, and then sometimes I do jump ahead and be talking, but okay, let's let it sink in. And then listen, is that like when it comes to taste too? Our sacral chakra governs the sense of taste. So is that like our taste in men? Okay, is that like our taste in our friends? Our taste in clothes? Does it govern that? Is that what it means? Like, y'all, I didn't learn that part yet. I got to find that out. I want to know. Does it govern our taste in men? Because if you operate out of this, okay, and the sacral chakra governs our sense of taste, okay, and we are operating out of this, so we are vibrating on this energy. So our taste in men is based off of this energy. Baby, listen, we got to clean that up so we can start bringing in our kings and queens, okay, for my lesbian empresses who join me over here, okay? So we can start bringing in our kings and our queens the right way, okay? Knowing who we are. Okay, and so, look, y'all done got me all distracted. The sacral chakra is where we develop flexibility in our life through the movement and flow of our emotions. Right? Because emotions, it's water. Okay, water flows. Water is flexible. Water will adapt to whatever you put it in. It will become. Okay, so whatever you are feeding your emotions, because we really do act out of emotions. We make decisions out of emotion. Like, we are just emotional, and then we're women on top of that. And then, I mean, I don't, because we all have masculine and feminine energy. It's more about what side you tap into more. Okay, and that's why you can have men who are very feminine, but they play with them if you want to and watch what happens. Okay, I had a cousin like that, and he is for real the one who really opened up my eyes to how, um, you know, what being gay is really about. He is the one who opened up my eyes to that. And he was really in touch with his feminine side, but play with him if you wanted to. Okay, my cousin, those that know me or watch the video that knows me, they know. And that knew my cousin. They know my cousin would be in the middle of the street thumping with 3 or 4 of them. God, my cousin wasn't no hoe. Okay, he was feminine, but he wasn't no hoe. He wasn't nothing to play with. Okay. He said, I love what I love, but you're going to respect me as a man. And that's period. Okay, and I felt him on that, period. My cousin fought for his respect. Okay. So because we make decisions based off our emotions by the way things make us feel, that's why being balanced and unblocked so we can make logical decisions is so important. So learning to improve and master our sexuality through sensuality can bring back balance to our sacral chakra. Because we have restored balance, we can now be comfortable with the qualities that that us that make us the women we are. We can be comfortable with the qualities that make us the women that we are. Okay, which comes from embracing our sensuality and having an intimate relationship with self and with God. Okay, but we're gonna get there. Let me just read my notes. We're gonna get there. Intimacy is an important place to any relationship that we build. To be in tune with the sacral chakra and being balanced, you have to first be intimate with self, which allows us to have intimacy with God. Okay? Our creativity is how we express our sexuality and sensual pleasure. Our creativity is how we express our sexuality and our sensual pleasure. Okay, so my notes is telling me to go to the definition of creative. Okay, so we're right now we are about to get into some definitions. Okay, so creativity is the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, or possibilities that may be helpful or useful in solving problems, communicating with others, and entertaining ourselves and others. So we are creative, so we find shit to do, pretty much. Right? When we bored, we tap into our creative energy and we find something for us and our friends to do. Right? When we want to start a project, okay, we tap into our creativity and we brainstorm ideas to make this project be successful. Okay, when we want our kids to stop getting on our damn nerves, we be creative and find stuff for them to do. We put together workbooks and scrapbooks, and we make the tracing letters for them to sit the hell down for a while and get out our face. You know what I'm saying? You know, with our husbands or our, you know, our significant others, when, you know what I'm saying, we get creative with them. Okay, okay, we that is creative, pretty much. We come up with different ideas to show, you know, our love, creative ideas, you know, unique ideas. We tap into that, and that is the Empresses that it ain't much for her. Okay, it's nothing for her because she is a creative being naturally. That is who she is. Okay, we have the ability to create, and it's at the tendency. Okay, to generate or recognize, and we can also recognize creativity. Okay, we can recognize, we have an eye for creativity, like we have an eye for the thing, or we can see it in somebody else, like, oh yeah, like, oh, this is good, and then we can add another viewpoint. But that we have to be careful with that too, because we are so creative, and we are just, we have ideas flowing through our head 24/7. We have to be careful when, you know, a friend or a family, or, you know, just somebody we love is sharing something with us, but they didn't ask for our opinion, they just sharing it. But because we are so creative, we see a million different ideas and possibilities with their project, and so we begin to give our input where it ain't needed or wanted, and it be out of love, but it could be offensive because, you know, it can make somebody else, well, what you think, because you're the Empress, or what I got ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to make nobody feel like that. So sometimes we have to be really careful about giving our, you know, input and ideas to other people if they have not asked for them. Okay. And so it is the ability of a person to create, perform, or think of something in a way that has not been done before. Nigga, trailblazers. Okay. We are trailblazers over here. And a lot of times we do stuff just because we're passionate about it. We love to do it. And it's not that we're trying to, you know, get attention for it, or get recognized or noticed for it. We just do it because we love to do it. But that very thing is a thing that people latch on to us, you know, for. And then, you know, we look up and we're a billionaire just from doing what we love to do in the first place. Like it was nothing, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal because we're passionate about it. It's what we love to do. It's not, it don't feel like work. I'm like, okay. And we would be like, oh, thank you. You know, because to us, it's just, it was nothing because we're creative. And then when we put the passion behind the creativity, oh, it's really going to take off, right? So it's the way we express ourselves, even the way we express ourselves, it verbally, you know, like I know y'all see me, I am very expressive, like, and I really can't help it. I be trying to sometimes, but it's not me. Like just sitting here, that's not me. Like I talk with my whole body. Okay, so yeah, but that's how I express myself, right? It's my personality. It's an expression of an individual characteristics. It's me. It's who I am. I am authentic to who I am. I am proud of who I am. I love who I am, right? And I'm unique. You know, no, anybody can try to do it, but I am me, and can't nobody be me like I can be me, and I love being me. Okay. It is imagination through art, writing, spoken words, singing, you know, all that good stuff. Okay, so now the definition of passionate, because that is the Empress. The Empress is, you know, and that is also our second attribute. Okay, passionate creativity. So passionate is showing or caused by strong belief or strong feelings. Okay, we are passionate with our creativity because we believe in it, right? We know it's gonna do good. We know it, like, and then we believe in ourselves. We are passionate about us because we love who we are. We have self-worth. We know we are good enough. We know that can't nobody do it like we can. And it's not being self-absorbed. It's being self-assured. The Queen of Wands in the upright. Okay, we got some confidence going on with ourselves. Okay, we know we are important. We know we are worthy. We are valuable. Like we are an asset. We are not a liability on today. We are an asset to our own lives and to the lives of other people, and we embrace that, right? Okay, so having compelled by or ruled by intense emotion or strong feeling. What are you passionate about? Okay, what gets your gears going? What gets your creative ideas flowing? Like, what are you passionate about? Okay, what moves you? What touches you? And it touches you so much that you want to do something about it. You want to bring about change. Like what is that? And whatever that is, start looking into it and see really well. First, make sure it's in the will of God for your life, right? Do that first, and then when you figure out your path and where you're supposed to be going and what you're supposed to be doing, find the parts of it that you are passionate about. Don't do it just because everybody else is doing it. And it really, it's like blase. It don't do it. It don't be the Queen of Wands in reverse and only like it for 2 seconds. No. That's why we got to get some healing going on so we can find who we are and we can know what we are passionate about. Because you have to love what you do in order to put passion behind it. Okay, like I love what I do, and like I say, it's not just about the cards. Okay, I am passionate about the cards, but I am passionate about teaching as well, and so I put my all into studying and learning and gaining and understanding and getting the knowledge necessary, so that I can therefore share that knowledge with you ladies. But I am passionate about it. I love what I do. Okay, I do have a guilt sometimes because it takes me away from my family, from my husband and my children. But my husband, he understands, and I appreciate my husband, y'all. I really do, because he makes it easy for me to do what I do. Okay, and since I am in like a studying and learning and teaching, and I'm trying to balance it all out, my husband don't mind picking up my slack. Okay, a relationship is not it's not always 50-50. Okay, but because my husband, he loves me and he understands what I'm doing and he believes in me and he knows that I am on an assignment from the Lord, because my husband is my divine masculine, and he is in contact and communication with the Lord too. Okay, and so he knows that I am on assignment and I'm walking in purpose and I'm fulfilling my mission. And so he don't mind, you know, cooking a chicken patty for dinner on the days that I am deep in my studies or I'm trying to put my lesson together. My husband don't mind, sweeping the flow for me, so that, he don't mind. He don't mind, bringing me my coffee. Okay, and he doesn't feel like any less of a man. He loves taking care of me. Okay, he is understanding even when I come to him in my guilt. Okay, he comforts me. He tells me it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like, you tripping. I got it, babe. I got you. Okay, he don't make me feel guilty for not being able to give him the attention that he is used to having. He doesn't make me feel guilty for that because he understands what I'm doing. Okay, in the meantime, between time, he is doing his part. He is taking on more to help balance everything out, but he don't complain about it. He don't make me feel guilty about it. And I love my husband for that. I was just telling him that earlier, which is probably why it came up. It was on my mind because I was just talking to him, okay, because I was feeling guilty, okay. And so But that's because, like I said, I'm passionate about it, right? So we have to find out what our passions are, our healthy passions, okay? So and it's something that it's going to easily arouse you. Like it's not going to be a force. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be something that you're going to have to be made to do, or you're going to have to pump yourself up to do. Like, you are going to be eager, you're going to look forward, right? And that is where you have to find the balance, because you have to make sure that you are not putting so much of yourself into it, and you are not taking a break, you are not resting, that other areas in your life are lacking because you are so focused on this one thing. There has to be a balance. And that's what I was telling my husband. But my husband knows that right now, in the beginning, it's always a little chaotic, but as it as it goes on and everybody gets into the rhythm of everything, it evens itself out, right? And that's why we have to make sure that we are connecting ourselves with people who support us and who love us and who want the best for us. We have to make sure of that, especially when we are when we are walking in purpose. Okay, because it's not going to be easy walking in purpose if your support system don't believe in you. If your support system is against everything you say, it's not easy walking in purpose. Okay, you have to make sure that solid foundation you built in the root chakra, you have to make sure that you have a solid support system in that as well. And that is not always necessarily family either. It's not. Okay, and that's okay. Okay, so passion is also okay, and even arouse, and passion also deals with arousal in a sexual sense. Okay, or influenced by sexual desire. Okay. And for real, desire is just another word for passion. It's like, I guess, like a more darker word for passion. Like, okay, so we broke down creativity, right, by itself, and then we broke down passion by itself. So now we're gonna get an understanding of what passionate creativity is, because that is what the second attribute of the divine feminine is. Passionate creativity. Okay. So it is intense emotions, compelling action through power or ability to create. Right? Intense emotions, compelling action is like your soul. The compelling part is your soul urging you into your purpose, right? And intense emotions, because something in you has been triggered and now you are ready to go. Your soul, them urges, them intense feelings, your emotions about something that has triggered you is telling you that is you need to figure out why that is calling to you. You need to figure out where your place is in that, because God is telling you you got something that you need to do in that, but you can't get there. I probably should have did this part last. We should have got to the blockages first. Okay. You can't do none of that if you are blocked up like this. You can't walk in purpose. You still need somebody walking in purpose to help you out. Like that ain't how it work, y'all. We got to work on us first, y'all. We got to be the example to the goodness of the Lord first. And then I mean, like, of course, yes, even in our mess, our friends, our family, people we meet on the street, we give encouraging words. Okay, we uplift somebody. We let them know, sis, I understand. Like, it's gonna be okay though. But I mean, like, for real, walking in purpose. Okay, because you're an empress, not the queen of the queen of wands in reverse, and to just sit down somewhere and get her shit together. Okay, but we have good hearts. Okay, we just got a lot of shit going on, but we still have good hearts. We still love. We still, we have compassion. Like, we have empathy. Like we don't want to see another lady down on her luck. Like, we don't want that. And so we'll still give a kind and encouraging word, even though we got all of this going on the inside of us. The problem is we don't give that same love and attention to ourselves. That is the problem. Okay, and so it creates it, you get the intense feeling, the urge, like it's time to go. I gotta check this out. I gotta look into this. I gotta see what this is like what is God telling me, right? And so it's like when you see angel numbers over and over and over and over again, and then you finally like, okay, let me see what this is talking about. What does this mean? Why do I keep seeing this number? Or why do I keep hearing this name? Or what is this? And you look into it. That when you get them soul urges, that is the same thing. And whatever it is that is pulling that out of you, you need to look into and really understand and figure out why God it's like pulling you to it so tough. Okay, and it is compelling action, right? You don't have a choice. Like it compels you to do something through the power, okay? Because that is your power. Your power is having the ability to create passionately. That is your power as the Empress. Okay, that is why it is an attribute. Okay, our power is to create, and in that creation, we bring about change. Okay, but first we have to do that in us, right? So, if we have blockages in our sacral chakra, which is energy characterized by flow and flexibility of functions, I'm sorry. If we have blockages in our sacral chakra, which is energy characterized by flow and flexibility, directed by the principles of pleasure, we cannot birth out our passions, nor can we have an intimate relationship with self or with God. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me read that one more time to you. If we have blockages in our sacral chakra, which is energy characterized by flow and flexibility, right? So if we got blockages, that means ain't nothing flowing freely. What it say? Flow or flexible. Okay? Blockages ain't nothing flowing and ain't nothing flexible. It's stuck right there where that blockage is. Okay, so the functions that is directed by the principles of passion, I mean, of pleasure, passion, pleasure. Okay, they not working right. So if we got blockages in our sacral chakra, it ain't operating as it should. Our emotions are all out of whack. We ain't flexible about nothing. We not flowing about nothing. We ain't going with the flow about nothing. I'm not working with you on nothing. I'm not being flexible about nothing. None of that. None of that. Our emotions are all over the place. Okay, we got all these energies up and through us, operating, working out of us. Okay, this is what we show up as in our everyday life. Okay, and that is what happens when blockages are in the sacral chakra. Everything is out of whack. We're feminine, and so we are we are our emotions. Okay, and if you are making decisions out of a cuckoo state, okay, that means your life is in a cuckoo state. You just disarray everywhere, all over the place. It ain't nothing. It ain't no structure in it. Don't none of it makes sense. Okay, and that is not the life that God wants us to live. God does not want us to live like that. He didn't create us to live like that. Okay, and at some point, we have to take responsibility for the reason our life is the way that it is, and we have to allow it to compel us to bring about change. We have the power to bring about the change that we want to see in our life. We hold that power. We be waiting on God to do it, and God is telling us you still stuck because I'm telling you, I'm trying to show you that I've already given you the power. I've given you the authority to bring about change in your own life. We have that, y'all. Okay, and so if we got blockages going on in our sacral chakra, we can't birth out nothing, nor can we have an intimate relationship with ourselves or with God, because we don't trust nobody. We don't trust ourselves. We're not being vulnerable with nobody because we don't trust nobody enough to be vulnerable with. So if we are not doing these qualities, if we don't have these qualities in our own self, if we are not doing this, like we don't even trust ourselves to make decisions. We call 15 people to get their opinion before we make a decision, and we still don't go off of nothing that they say. We still what we take what the 17th person say, and then by the time we get to the 17th person, we be so jacked up and confused because we got all these opinions. We don't even know what to do no more. So we don't even trust our own self. We don't want to be vulnerable. I don't cry. I don't cry in front of people. I don't do that. I don't show emotions in front of people. I'm emotional. I'm emotionless. I don't have feelings. That's blockages. Okay, because it's normal to cry. It's normal to have emotions. It's normal to show feelings. That is normal human damn behavior. Okay, so look at yourself and ask yourself, why don't you like crying? Why are you scared to cry? What is the fear of crying? Well, what God said, He bottles our tears and He pours them out over the altar. Okay, I be letting them things flow. Okay, I'm not being blocked up for nobody no more. I don't give a damn if I'm in the middle of the grocery store. Okay, I'll go hide by the bread, but I'm gonna let them tears fall. Okay, I'm gonna go hide by the bread, like I said. Okay, maybe because the Debbie Snacks is over there. I don't know, but I'm just joking. But no, we do not have to be afraid or scared or embarrassed or any of that when it comes to our emotions. Like, hell to the no. Like, no, that keeps us blocked up and bound up. And if I'm around somebody and they don't like my damn tears, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Because I'm feeling some type of way. And I'm authentic to the way I feel on today, okay? Be authentic to how you feel. Don't cause blockages in your life because you are scared that your emotions are going to push people away from you. No, ma'am. Because if my emotions push you away from me, then you was never around me for the right reasons anyway. Because if anything, you should be giving me a damn hug. Okay, you should be asking me if I'm okay. Okay, you should be. There we go with that shit again. That's what I just heard in my head. There we go with that shit. You always cry. Listen, if my tears are offensive to you, I don't need you in my life. Bye. Period. Okay. Okay, so we gonna go. Okay, y'all. It's gonna start getting heavy. Okay. So we moving over to the blockages. Okay. So blockages in the sacral chakra manifest and shows up in our everyday life. Okay, sexual trauma of any kind greatly affects our sacral chakra. It affects our sacral chakra. It affects intimacy, passion, and our creativity. It also affects how we see ourselves and the world around us. Okay, so how do you show up to the world? How do you show up to yourself and for yourself? Okay, so blockages show up in our everyday life as depression, detachment, overindulgent in fantasies and sexual obsessions. Okay, being a sexual deviant. Okay, being aggressive, fear and anxiety, poor boundaries. Okay, not protecting yourself. Right, being codependent or having a dependency. Living in fantasy, goofy la la land all the time. Okay, those are just certain, like, and there's a lot of information. There is so much information out there about everything these days. Okay, and so I took everything that I learned about the sacral chakra and I applied it to the principles and the qualities that govern us, that govern us here in the Empress room. Okay, based off what God gave me to do is how, you know, okay, to operate in this Empress energy. Okay. So, in order to find balance in our sacral chakra, we have to deal with and let go of emotional baggage that weighs us down and keeps us stuck. Y'all, we got to let it go. We got to deal with it. First, we got to get honest about it and say, like, yes, I do got some things going on with me that I need to change. That's first. Then you got to take an honest look at what those things are and figure out a way to work through them. Okay, so now, because negative body image, negative self-talk, the way you see yourself plays a major role in when it comes to blockages in our sacral chakra. Okay, so understanding. So now we're going to talk about sacral chakra and body image. Okay, understanding how having a negative perspective of our body dictates how we show up and how we act in our everyday life. Okay, so body image. What is body image? Okay, so the definition of body image is a personal perception of one's own body and its effect on how an individual perceives their sexual attractiveness, right? So depending on how you see you depends on how you act out your sexual energy, which would be your sensual, how you show up, because your sensuality is the woman in you, okay? But the power behind that is your sexuality, what you are attracted to. And the power behind that is the passion of it all. Okay, so our sexuality, our sexuality and sensuality is directly affected by how we see ourselves. Sexuality is the energy behind our sensuality. So any struggle with the one directly affects the other. Okay. So I'm going to explain and define what sensuality and sexuality is, okay? So sexuality is about your sexual feelings, right? It's about your sexual feelings, your thoughts, attractions, and behaviors toward other people. You can find other people attractive physically, like you can look at someone and be like, oh wow, they're beautiful, or you know, like what they do is beautiful, or I had one in my head. It just flew away. Okay, and so you can find them attractive physically, right? The outer appearance. Okay, but just because you think they're beautiful, it don't mean you are attracted to them sexually. Okay, and you can find them attractive sexually, right? And just because you are attracted to somebody sexually, it make your vagina go thump thump thump. Okay, does not mean you are attracted to them physically. It could be a characteristic that they have that stands out to you, and you be like, damn, that just did something to me, right? But that don't mean you want to go and jump their bones, right? They just had an effect on you, because it's connected to your vagina, right? But that don't mean, like, I could see a man that is handsome and not want to go jump his bones, okay? And so it is all, you can find somebody emotionally attractive, like, and that's why a lot of the times us, we say, or people say, or they feel like whatever, that having an emotional affair with somebody is way worse than having an actual physical affair, because like you are putting time and emotions and feelings into this affair. It's not just like a one hit wonder, a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and you doing a walk of shame the next day. Like, you have actually gotten feelings involved, emotions involved. And so, and that's when we start torturing ourselves. We want to know the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how. We want to know how they did it, when they did it, where they did it. Did he say her name? Did she say he is? Did she call him daddy? Okay, did he flip her like that? Did he bend her like that? Did he do that? Like we start torturing ourselves about it, because you know, you look at somebody else, you cheated on me. I don't give a damn if it's physical, sexual, emotional. I don't give a damn. Okay, it's all cheating to me, and it's all just as bad as the other to me. Okay, but we're human and we try to rationalize things. And so, okay, some people are rather they're made physically or sexually cheat on them than than emotionally cheat on them. You ain't allowed cheating on me in no damn way. Period. Okay. Okay, and so, and then you can even find somebody's spirit, like spiritual, because sexuality is not about sex. It's about things that attract you. Okay, in an intimate type of way. Okay, sexuality is at birth. Hold on. Physically and emotionally attractive, and all the things that are a part of your sexuality. Sexuality is it is diverse and it is personal. And it is an important part of who you are. So being authentic with your sexuality is very important, because that is the energy behind your sensuality, who you show up as in your sacral chakra, in your Empress energy, right? Because that is all about being sensual. Okay. The components of sexuality are sharing, liking, and loving. Okay, it is about trust and vulnerability, self disclosure, and emotional risk taking. Sexual identity is how we perceive ourselves as a sexual being. Its components are biological gender, gender identity, gender role, and sexual orientation. Okay, so to break it down and make it all make sense, sexuality shapes the brain and body to be pleasure seeking, right? So what are you attracted to? What do you find pleasure in? What is your passions, right? Um and so for whatever reason they have a word or phrase, and it's called human sexuality. Okay, and so the one I just read was just regular sexual, just plain sexuality. So I'm going to read you the definition of human sexuality. Okay, so human sexuality is the way people experience and express themselves sexually. Okay, this involves biological, erotic, physical, emotional, social, or spiritual feelings and behaviors. Okay, so depending on your sexuality, like I this is why I say sexuality is the energy behind your sensuality, because your sexuality determines how you show up in a sense, like what energy comes out of you. That energy is your sensuality. Okay, I really can't say that word. I hope I'm saying it right. Sensuality, sensual. Shit, I think I'm saying it right. Okay, so, and then I just want to throw this tad bit in here, just to throw it in here, okay? Because I got the definition of gender too, okay? Because gender is less about what sex you was born as, and it's more about what you identify as, or what you are identified as, okay? And it's personal, okay? So, according to the World Health Organization, you know, that the one people who let the world go to shits when Corona happened, them people. Gender refers to the characteristics of women, men, boys, and girls that are socially constructed. This includes norms, behaviors that are socially constructed. This includes. Why did I write that twice? I don't know. Oh, my bad. I was reading the same line. This includes Laura's behaviors and roles associated with being a woman, man, girl, or boy, as well as with relationships with others. Okay, so gender is the range of characteristics that I'm gonna leave that alone for right now because I don't want to confuse y'all with what we talking about. Okay, I don't want to do that. So we know what sexuality is, and so we understand why. Sexuality is the energy, that pushes forth the characteristics in our sensual energy. Okay, I don't want to get y'all confused. That's probably for God. Probably had me put together for something else. Because when I tell you I was getting deep into the sacral chakra, I was getting all the way into it. I wasn't playing. Okay, but I don't want to confuse you, ladies. So, okay, now let me explain to you what sensuality is, and I'm going to explain it again when we get into intimacy. Okay. So sensuality is the condition of being pleasing or fulfilling to the senses. Okay, and that's why like sensuality and the things you find pleasure in is like one and the same. The enjoyment, expression, or pleasure of physical pleasure. Okay, especially sexually, because that is how everybody associates sensual with. It's a sexual thing, but it's not. No, it's not just that, right? Just like we are not just mothers and wives, like we are empresses. We are us first, okay? And so it is the condition of being pleasing or fulfilling to the senses, okay? And when you find something pleasing, right, you act out that enjoyment with its expression, okay, with the expression of pleasure. Okay, you are in tune with the woman that you are. Everything that makes you brings you pleasure, and you thrive in that energy. Like you embrace the woman that you are. You love her. Okay, you sit on your vagina and you are proud of the power that it gives you. You are not ashamed of it. You are not scared of it. You don't run from it, and you damn sure don't act like you are less than, or you take away from your power to please somebody else. You embrace it, you thrive in it, and you let it take you where you need to go. Okay, because when you show up on the scene, your aura, which your sensuality, the power in you shows up first. Okay, your energy says a lot about you. Okay, so we want to make sure that when we show up on the scene, we show up in Empress energy, letting people know that we're not the ones to play with, while at the same time being inviting and capturing and loving. Number one, being loving. Okay. So, a negative body image. So I just so you can see why having a negative body image will affect that, right? So you have to let go. You have to let go of modern ideas of what beautiful is. Okay? And we allow men to tell us what's beautiful. No, ma'am. Okay, whatever brings you pleasure, okay, it is what beauty is. Okay, however God made you is what beauty is. Right? And you don't allow anything or anybody to make you feel otherwise. Okay? And if they got a problem with it, you tell them to come see me. Period. You don't never let nobody make you feel like you are less than, or determine what beautiful is, or determine how you see yourself. Hell to the no. You are beautifully and wonderfully made and created in the eyes of the Lord. Okay, and just because the people around you got low self-esteem, because only people with low self-esteem try to make somebody feel like they are less than. Okay, and so just because people around you got low self-esteem, you do not allow them to put that energy off on you. You embrace who you are, you love who you are, and and you stand in your truth loud and proud, and you don't give a damn how it makes nobody else feel. Because me being authentic to me should not cause you no you should why do you give a damn about how I feel about me? Why does that affect you? Okay, because you got low self-esteem and you mad because I could tell myself I'm beautiful and mean it and you can't, Like, no, we're not allowing nobody to tear us down no more. We have done that enough. Those days are over. Okay, we embrace who we are. We are authentic to who we are. We are proud of who we are. And we stand in the mirror and we look at ourselves and we tell ourselves that we are beautiful. Period. Okay, we have let people beat us down long enough. We're not doing it no more. We're not allowing it no more. Okay, so we are not going off of what somebody else consider beautiful. We are telling ourselves we are beautiful. We are wonderfully and beautifully made and created in the eyes of the Lord. Okay, ain't no arguing with that. Because when we do that, we can learn to love ourselves genuinely for who you are. Okay, without and definitely without comparing yourself to somebody else, because usually in the world's standard of beauty, it is a comparison to somebody else, right? Oh, this is a new, like, okay, they put a face up, a famous celebrity face. They'll put a face up and be like, hey, this is what the new beauty looks like. And everything about this person has been stolen from a whole nother culture. The culture that you are calling or saying is ugly, but then you put this face up and you say it is the face of beauty. But over, listen, this ain't about that, but whatever. Don't use the TV and social media and Instagram and filters and body filters and airbrush, right? Do not use them things to determine what beautiful is to you. Okay, do not use them things to determine what your beauty most importantly should look like, right? And don't use them things to determine what your sister's beauty should look like. We are all beautiful and wonderful and creatively made in the Lord. Okay. And so first we have to be honest about the way we see ourselves. We got to be honest with us first about how we really feel about what we see when we look in the mirror. We got to be honest about that first. Okay? And then about, and it's right now. Okay? We got to be honest about how we feel about us when we look in the mirror. What do you say to yourself when you look in that mirror? How do you feel about you when you look in that mirror? What do you tell yourself? How do you see yourself when you look in that mirror? And I mean right now today, if you was when you looked in the mirror this morning, what did you tell yourself? Okay, and be honest. What thought went through your head? What did you think? Okay, did you point out every flaw you felt like you had? Or did you be like, damn, you are beautiful. Oh, girl, you woke up like this. Like, what did you tell yourself? Okay. Then we have to figure out, because we getting honest, we have to figure out and understand where they come from. Is those them generational curses coming back up again? Okay, did we learn these things from the women who raised us, from the environments we grew up in? Like, where did we learn this behavior? But we have to figure out and understand where they come from so we can then uproot it, heal it, and reroute it the right way. Okay, which goes back to the root chakra and those generational curses from mama and them. I know I always get ahead of myself. Okay, so we also have to let go of using sex to feel beautiful. That is a no-no. All that does is causes more problems, okay? We have to let go of using sex to be seen, right? The only time another energy approaches us or sees us is when we are offering our body, when we are pimping out our womanhood for love, okay? With unsatisfying negative experiences causes negative body image as well. Unsatisfying negative sexual experiences, sexual trauma, being sex trafficked, okay? Be it, a lady of the night, right? It affects how we see ourselves when the way people address us or talk about us or talk when people make negative comments about our body, like we begin to be self-conscious about our body. When people, if you've been called ugly your whole life, and you see yourself as that, right? We got to get honest about all of that. Like, we got to get deep down to the root or to the tutor of our emotional issues and really, really be honest and uproot all of that goofy negative self-talk, okay, so that we can then in turn feed ourselves the right things, okay. It is difficult to have intimacy if you don't love who you are, or love, because it is difficult to have intimacy if you do not love who you are. Because in order to love self, you have to first know self, okay. It is difficult to have intimacy if you do not know who you are. That is what should have been first. If you do not know who you are, if you do not love who you are, right? Because in order to love self, you have to know self. And that is the same thing with God. In order to love God, you got to get to know God. You can't just say you love God just because you're supposed to, or you feel like you're supposed to, or you have been taught you were supposed to. Why? Why do you say you love God? Why? Okay. And that starts back with understanding who your source is in the first place. Okay, so the same thing applies to the divine source. In order to love God, we have to get to know God for ourselves, building an intimate relationship with God. Okay, being honest and authentic to the broken places of our womanhood, which affects the way we see ourselves, so we can work through it. We must be honest in our affliction so God can heal them. Finding and addressing the underlying issue is when the real healing can take place. We have learned how to use the body language of our sexuality to communicate the wrong message. We have learned how to use the body language of our sexuality to communicate the wrong message. The language of our body is sensuality, right? So we have learned how to use sensuality the wrong way to communicate the wrong message to the wrong damn people. Okay. So what does your sensuality say about you? What are you communicating? We have to learn how to communicate with our sexual essence without pimping or compromising the woman we are for love. Without pimping or compromising our womanhood for love. Okay, so traumas from the past and present that have not been dealt with causes blockages and symptoms such as intimacy and trust issues, and they manifest themselves as emotional and physical symptoms, which is a deadly to the sacral chakra because it is the center of and it governs our emotions. Examples of this are attachment issues, codependency, and problems with any of the four intimacies. Okay, we're going to break those down quickly. Okay. To be confident in others or even in God, we have to be confident with self first. When our soul has connected to the right people, negative behaviors about sexuality and sensuality did you learn from your upbringing and the women who raised you? Start there. Okay. What negative behaviors about sexuality and sensuality did you learn from your upbringing and the women who raised you? Okay. So, what is intimacy? It's a mutual vulnerableness and sharing. It is often present in close, loving relationships, right? So, therefore, you have to have a close and loving relationship with self first, okay? And then that means in order to be having a close and loving relationship with God, it got to be intimate. You got to get to know God. You got to build a relationship. Okay, intimacy comes from the relationship. Also used to refer to sexual interactions, but intimacy does not have to be sexual. Intimacy does not have to be sexual. And I'm gonna add this: intimacy is not just sex. Okay. So the four types of intimacy are emotional intimacy, mental intimacy, physical intimacy, and spiritual intimacy. The four types of intimacy: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. And I'm going to go over them really quick, and I'm going to close, and then we're going to get off of here, okay? So, emotional intimacy is having the ability to be open and honest about your feelings and feeling safe in doing so. Okay? Trusting in self, feeling secured and loved. That is emotional intimacy. Okay? So, feeling safe to be open and honest and vulnerable with whatever it is you are feeling on the inside. Okay, and all of these are important to embody an Empress energy, because this is she. Okay, and then you trust in yourself, okay, to speak your truth. Okay, you feel safe and secure in your environment with the people you are being vulnerable with. So mental intimacy is meeting of the minds. Like you are around like-minded people. Like you have built relationships with people who believe in the things you believe in, who think like you, who you can map out creative, passionate ideas together. Like and y'all vision is on the same path because y'all are one of the same, right? Okay, so it's like higher self, God self, okay? Shared is mental intimacy is about shared ideas, morals, ideas, ethics, and integrity. Okay, that is with self, higher self, and God self, and also with the people who we are down here on earth with. Okay, friends, family, people we build close relationship with, our soul sisters. Okay. So, physical intimacy is sensual proximity or touching as an act or reaction, such as an expression of feelings. Okay, so physical intimacy is shown, through, a touch, or, when you are when your man walk past you and he try you rub up on you a little bit, okay, or you walk past your man and you rub your little. I mean that's freaky. We gonna call that freaky intimacy, okay. But it's like somebody, you somebody is vulnerable with you, or you are being sensual, like you feel comfortable being sensual, you feel comfortable in who you are, in your own sexuality, you are comfortable in that, and so you act it out through the expression, okay, through physical intimacy. Okay, so spiritual intimacy is being open and honest while trusting self, and avoiding any judgment, just allowing it to be. Okay. It is the process of opening your heart, the core aspects of ourselves where God talks to us at, to create a strong and powerful emotional and physical closeness with God. Okay. So the Empress has to be able to embody all of these acts of intimacy and make and balance them out as one, right? This is, of course, there it makes up. They stand alone on their own, right? But we have to learn how to allow them to all work together, being balanced. Okay, so um, signs of intimacy issues is you compare yourself to other people, especially women. You shut down emotionally. You let yourself and others down. Friendships and relationships don't last long. You are hesitant to commit to anything. You struggle with commitment. You are more comfortable giving your body to strangers, like a no string attached type of relationship. You resist close relationships, even with family. Having anxiety makes it difficult to form close bonds because fear and anxiety is one of the ways that blockages manifest in our sacral chakra or from our sacral chakra. Okay. So intimacy can trigger thoughts, trauma, fear, and flashbacks and bring about behaviors that make you or the people around you feel uncomfortable. Neglectful. So a neglectful or abusive childhood and trauma, okay, whether it's a childhood trauma or adult trauma, significantly affects how we respond to intimacy and how we with intimacy with ourselves and with others, because when you experience that devastation, like that type of devastation, you withdraw back in, and it is hard for you to trust anybody if you have not dealt with it and if you have not healed from that experience. Okay, our whole view of how we view just life, period, but it's especially like our intimate and sexual relationships and things like that it's skewed. We're damaged now because we are operating out of trauma. Okay, so not believing in yourself, not believing you are worthy of love, avoiding others for fear of rejection, yet you don't like being alone. Okay, we avoid others. We're scared to form relationships, friendships, and bonds with other people because we are scared of rejection, or we are scared of them seeing all of our junk. But at the same time, we don't want to be alone. We don't like being lonely. We don't want to be by ourselves. Okay, and so you are highly sensitive to criticism, yet you are nasty and overcritical of every damn body else. And we think we do that because it takes the attention off of us. But for real, when we are so quick to point out somebody else's flaws, all that does is shine the light on our own flaws. We are putting the very attention that we don't want back on us. Okay. So you have problems communicating feelings unless you are mad and you're being nasty. So having intimacy issues within self will directly affect every other relationship in your life, now or present, until you remove these blockages. Your intimacy will be affected with any relationship you have now or in the present if it is not dealt with. Okay. You have to completely trust yourself in order to be intimate with yourself. In order to fix your issues with intimacy, you have to first fix the issues or problems or blockages within self. We have to work through our blockages, okay? And that is also, you have to fix the reason for the intimacy issues in the first place. Why is this even an issue? What happened to make this an issue? What was said to make this an issue? We have to work through our blockages, negative thoughts and feelings as they arise. We have to do a complete soul healing first. Childhood trauma is the main cause of intimacy issues, and as adults, it manifests as avoidance and fear used as an unhealthy defense mechanism to protect the mind from potential danger, aka more trauma. Okay, hurt and pain, which turns into isolation and loneliness. We have been hurt so much. We have been let down so much. We have been broken and abused and discarded so much that we are in survival mode. We are always on the defense because we don't want to be hurt no more. In turn, the way our defense mechanism shows up is off-putting to everybody we encounter. So therefore, they don't want to be around us. And so therefore, we find ourselves being alone, not being invited to the parties, not being invited to go have a drink. We're not being invited places anymore because nobody want to deal with our attitude. When for real, we don't really like being like that. We don't want to be like that, but we don't know no other way to be because we are so hurt and broken on the inside. Okay, and I understand, sis. I'm not judging you. I was once there. I get it. I really do. But God does not want us like this. Okay, but we have to make the decision. We have to make it up in our mind first that we are ready to come out. We got to get honest. We cannot heal from anything that we have been through if we will not be honest and take an honest look at it without judging. Don't stop judging yourself first. Okay, and get honest and really be honest with God and with yourself, and really let him know, let God know what it is that you got going on. Okay, and so to close everything we just went over in closing, right? Healing and bringing or restoring, like healing and restoring. Well, healing is restoring, okay? Healing and bringing balance back to the sacral chakra allows you to be confident in Empress energy. She has surrendered to complete healing by going within and doing introspection work to find the answers needed to overcome. She has realized that all she needs is inside of her, including and especially her personal power. She has went through the purging process, removing all energies that no longer serve her, and is now free to birth life. She embodies her Empress energy, embodies it, understanding the power of the vagina, okay, / womb, which is where her power comes from. Understanding where her power lies, she treats her body with the utmost respect and is extremely particular about the energies she allows to enter and or experience her womb space. She knows her womb is a sacred holy ground, and it is an honor to sit within her walls and eat from her fruit. All that hunger are fed through the palm of her hand. For she speaks life, and it shall be so, because there is no lack in her land. Because she understands her power. She knows she is the Empress. And she knows all that comes with being the Empress. There is no lack in her land. She has learned how to be sensual without being a whore or pimping her womanhood out for love. Okay, being balanced in the sacral chakra is using both passion and creativity in a balanced state to birth the divine vision that God gave you, so you can walk in purpose with a purpose on purpose, fulfilling the mission your soul was sent here to do. Being in the will of God for your life, which is what chakra means anyway. Okay, guys, ladies. I have to get used to calling y'all, to saying ladies and not guys. Ladies. Okay, my loves. That is what the sacral chakra is about. Okay, and that is why Empress energy is so important, you know, when it comes to the sacral chakra, because it makes us up, it makes up who we are. It is who we are. Right? I just feel like it got kind of dark. I don't know, maybe it's because it makes us who we are. Okay, it is a very important piece of who we are. Okay, my loves. And so I really hope that you ladies was able to really learn something from this, to really get something from this. I pray it really helps you to open up your eyes, and it brings about healing, and it brings about change in your life. Okay, please feel free to watch this video as many times as you deem fit. As long as it's up, it is available for you to watch. Okay, take notes. Okay, whatever you need, take notes. Okay, and apply. But most importantly, apply the tools and the knowledge that you have learned to your life to bring about change in your life, so that you can really stand up and be the divine feminine, okay? So you can really get the soul healing that you need, okay? Because God doesn't want us to be bound up, broke, busted, and disgusted. That is not what life is supposed to be about. But you first have to know what your power is, okay? Okay, ladies, so tomorrow we will be back talking about the solar plexus, the seats of the soul. Okay, you got your Empress energy, right? You learned about your Empress energy. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the solar plexus, the seat of the soul. Look how beautiful your throne is. Look how beautiful your throne is. We have to be just as beautiful on the inside. Okay, we have to be just as beautiful. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to be talking about the solar plexus. Same time, same place. I will be here. I'm showing up for y'all. Okay, so yeah, so meet me here tomorrow, or even if you catch this on the replay, if you catch the videos on the replay. After the sacral chakra, the solar plexus is up next. Okay, I love y'all. Be blessed. Okay, thank you for joining me here in the Empress Room. I am Patricia, aka the Intuitive Empress, and I will see you in the next video for the solar plexus. Be blessed.